So when it comes to fitness training, in my opinion, everything sort of is downstream from strength training. For most people, developing a certain amount of foundational strength will improve their lives in a lot of ways. Simple tasks become a lot easier. Carrying groceries, taking the stairs, moving furniture. It opens you up to do more things with your life. If you feel more capable in your life, then you don't feel limited in what you can do. I find that keeping it simple and emphasizing the fundamentals is the best way to maximize your training and to ultimately live the life you want to live. So in this video, I'll explore the foundational movement patterns to build a strength training program that is both efficient and effective. My name is Andrew Moore. I'm a personal trainer and movement coach from Toronto, Canada. And my goal with this channel is to bring some mindfulness and intention to fitness training and movement in general. So let's get into it. The best way to build an efficient strength training program is to go with the 4 fundamental movement patterns, which are your push variations, your pull variations, your hinge variations, and your squat variations. Your push variations are anything like a push-up or a bench press or an overhead press, and any variation that engages those muscles. Pull variation is anything like a pull-up or a row. Your hinge variation is anything like a deadlift, a Romanian deadlift, kettlebell swing, and their single leg variations like a split stance Romanian deadlift or a single leg Romanian deadlift. And your squat variation is any bilateral or unilateral squats. So you've got your barbell back squats, front squats, goblet squats, and then the single leg variations like lunges, Bulgarian split squats. Those 4 movement patterns hit every major muscle group in the body. And because of that, you don't really need to do much else. When I was starting out, I was following the programs that were popular at the time, which were these bodybuilding style programs that had like 12 exercises in each session. For me, and the way that I approached things, I found that I was always sore or always on the brink of injury or just outright injured. It was only when I stripped it back to this very simple way of training that I started to see a lot of progress in the gym, and that I was no longer in pain, and that I was able to move through life the way I wanted to. So showing up to the gym 2 to 3 times a week and hitting those 4 movement patterns, as long as you're structuring the program in a way that helps you reach your goals, adjusting for reps and weight, you don't need much more than that. And you can build some other domains of movement into the program. So if you're looking at power training, you can do some plyometrics, maybe at the beginning of the workout. You can do some dynamic stretching. Maybe you can add some movement flows in there to keep things interesting. But when it comes to what you're going to get the most benefit from, keeping it simple with those 4 movement patterns is going to give you the most bang for your buck in the gym. Now, if you notice that maybe one muscle group is lagging a little bit behind, you can use some isolation exercises to fill in the gaps. So say you notice that your hamstrings maybe feel like they're lagging a bit behind. You could throw in some hamstring curls maybe as an accessory at the end of the workout, but you'd only want to do that for a certain amount of time to bring the hamstrings up to where you'd want them to be. And then you can return to just doing that really simple strength training program. I think that we can often overcomplicate things, and I've fallen into this trap before too, where I feel like I need to address this thing and my shoulder pain and my hip limitations and my ankle limitations. And so there's all these different exercises that I put into the plan, and then the next thing you know, it's like each session is 20 different exercises, and I just can't be bothered to actually do it. And so I never actually end up doing anything. So I find that defaulting to the fundamentals keeps things approachable and more sustainable long term, so that when some things do come up that you need to address, you can focus on those 1 to 2 things while still keeping the fundamentals as the anchor to your training. So basing your program around those movement patterns and then filling in the gaps where you need is going to make it so that it doesn't have to dominate your life. I think stripping it down to these 4 movement patterns is a great way to maximize your time in the gym. 2 to 3 days a week, hitting your push, your pull, your hinge, and your squat. Keep it simple and free yourself up for things that you want to do outside of the gym, because ultimately I think that's what training is all about. It's about feeling strong, connected to your body, and ultimately feeling that you are able to do the things that you want to do outside of the gym. I think maximizing for that will allow you to continue to show up over and over. You're not beating yourself up. You're not exhausting yourself so much that you can't show up next time. And you're approaching it with longevity in mind and consistency in mind, because ultimately consistency is what's going to build the skill set that you want to carry you through life. So that's the video for today. If you made it this far and you enjoyed what you saw, maybe subscribe to the channel, and you can sign up for my email list. The link is in the description down below. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, the link is also in the description below. I will see you next time.